In the electrifying world of boxing, few moments are as intensely anticipated as the electrifying face-off between two of the greatest fighters of this generation, Canelo Álvarez and Terence Crawford, was a spectacle that sent shockwaves through the sporting world. Fans, analysts, and fighters alike have been buzzing with anticipation for weeks, and now, the showdown feels more real than ever. As the two champions stood face to face, it was not just a meeting of two men, it was a clash.
Your reaction to that? And that seems like that you do want this fight now.
Well, I've been wanting to fight you. I feel as if that's a legacy fight. I feel as if this is the biggest fight in boxing today. I feel like this fight right here is like the last of the Mohicans. We both coming in the era where Floyd Mayweather was #1 pound for pound, Showtime, and the old era, that type of era. I think this fight will be massive.
You mentioned Floyd. Obviously, Floyd and Manny, a lot of people thought happened way after it should have happened. You guys are both in your prime right now. You guys are both two of the top 5 pound-for-pound fighters in boxing. This is the biggest fight in boxing right now.
Definitely. And
the globe. The brutal intensity of this encounter sent shockwaves through the box. A mere photo opportunity, it was a glimpse into the psychological warfare that defines boxing at its highest level. From the moment Canelo Álvarez stepped into the room, his presence was commanding. Dressed in an impeccably tailored suit, his expression was calm but unmistakably intense. Every step he took seemed to echo with the weight of his incredible career, a legacy built on dominance, resilience, and unrelenting power. Gaze with an icy calm that spoke volumes. The contrast in their demeanors, known for his laser-focused demeanor, Crawford walked in with a quiet confidence that bordered on intimidating. His eyes locked onto Canelo's as if to say, "I've been waiting for this moment, and I'm ready." The intensity in the room was palpable. As the two champions took their places, the crowd of reporters, trainers, and fans fell silent. It was a moment suspended in time where the air seemed heavier, the stakes, the war ahead. Crawford, on the other hand, maintained a stone-cold demeanor. Their eye contact was unbroken, a fierce exchange of respect and hostility. Canelo's gaze carried the weight of a seasoned warrior, while Crawford's piercing stare spoke of a man with something to prove. It was as if they were reading each other's minds, silently calculating strategies, weaknesses, and the battles to come. But then, in an unexpected turn, the face-off took on a life of its own. Canelo, known for his succinct yet powerful remarks, leaned in and said, "Off guard. I hope you're ready, Canelo," he said, his voice steady but brimming with intent. "Because I've been waiting for a challenge like this." The words were simple, but the tone was razor-sharp, cutting through the air like a blade. Canelo, never one to back down, smirked ever so slightly before responding, "I was born ready." His reply was as much a statement of fact as it was a challenge. Each fighter trying to gain a psychological edge before the first punch is even thrown. As the fighters were instructed to pose for photos, their proximity seemed to escalate the tension. Canelo leaned in just slightly, his eyes narrowing as if to test Crawford's resolve. Crawford, unflinching, stood his ground and even leaned forward in return, their foreheads almost touching. It was a symbolic moment, a preview of the physical and mental warfare that will unfold in the ring. The crowd gasped, and of the word, but it's clear they're taking this personally. That's what makes this fight. Their respective trainers got involved. Eddie Reynoso, Canelo's trusted coach, was seen whispering to his fighter, his expression a mix of caution and encouragement. Meanwhile, Ryan McIntyre, Crawford's longtime mentor, was visibly animated, gesturing as if to remind Crawford of their game plan. The dynamics between the trainers added another layer of intrigue, showcasing the importance of the strategies that will intimidate us, McIntyre said. Bud has the skill set to adapt and ready sky high. A reporter's question about legacy seemed to ignite a deeper competitive fire in both fighters. "What does this fight mean for your legacy?" the reporter asked. Canelo was the first to respond, his voice steady but charged with emotion. "This fight is everything," he said. "It's about proving that I'm the best, not just now, but in history. Crawford is a great fighter, but I faced..."
First, I went to the Canelo Berlanga fight. And then after that, I went to the UFC fight. So it was a pretty busy day.
Let's start with the Canelo fight, the Canelo card. Obviously, you said that me and Coach that you wanted next. First, what did you think of his performance versus Berlanga?
I think he put on a great performance. Always do. Canelo is Canelo. I think Berlanga on a tremendous show as well. Showed a lot of heart and grit and determination as well, and that made for a great fight.
You said what you had to say. I don't know if you saw it. Canelo was asked about the live stream that you and Turk did during the fights, and Canelo said no comment.
A fight. It's a clash of ideologies, styles, and legacies. Crawford's response was equally powerful. Legacy isn't just about what you've done. It's about who you've beaten, he said. Canelo has had an incredible career, but he's never faced someone like me. This fight is my chance to show the world that I'm not just one of the best. I'm the best. The face-off concluded with one final moment that left fans and analysts buzzing. As the fighters were about to step away, Crawford extended louder. Social media is ablaze with predictions, debates, and fiery arguments, but Canelo hesitated for a brief moment before accepting it. The pause was subtle, but spoke volumes, suggesting that the respect between the two champions is accompanied by an unshakable resolve to emerge victorious. In the aftermath of the face-off, social media exploded with reactions. Fans dissected every glance, every word, and every gesture, trying to predict what it all meant. The fighters, greatness on the grandest stage. As we count down the days to fight night. This is the fight boxing needs, Canelo said. 2 champions, 2 styles, 1 ring. It's going to be a war. Crawford, on the other hand, was slightly more cryptic. I've studied him, I've prepared for him, and I know what it takes to beat him, he said. Now it's time to prove it. As the world gears up for what promises to be one of the most epic clashes in boxing history, the stakes have never been in.
What's the message to one Saul Canelo Álvarez?
Oh, well, it ain't really no message, it's all respect over here, and if, he do decide to come our way and me and him get in the ring, then it'll be an electrifying fight, It won't be like any other fight that he's fought recently. And it'd be a well-fought fight for both of us, I believe.
Any doubt in your mind that you beat him?
Of course I beat him. It ain't no doubt in my mind that I won't beat anybody that I step in the ring with.
And every time I've proven the doubters wrong. Canelo is just another challenge, and I thrive will be made. The anticipation for this fight is at a fever pitch, and the stakes couldn't be higher. For Canelo, it's an opportunity to further cement his legacy as one of the greatest pound-for-pound fighters of all time. For Crawford, it's a chance to prove that he belongs among the elite, capable of taking down a legend like Canelo. The wildest moments of their careers have brought them to this. Álvarez versus Terence Crawford unfolds a tale of grit, determination. In the words of Canelo, this fight is for the fans, for the history books, and for myself. I'm ready to give everything I have. And as Crawford put it, I've always said I want to fight the best, and Canelo is the best. This is my moment to show the world who I am. The stage is set, the fighters are ready, and the world is watching. The wildest moments of Canelo Álvarez and Terence Crawford's careers are.
He wants to be fighting guys that are just moving all the time, and he wants people to come to fight. And Crawford can't really come to fight like that in that fight because he's at a massive size disadvantage, and he can't be standing in front of him. I don't think that fight will happen. But then when you think about it, what are the options for Canelo Álvarez?
Benavides.
Yeah, but I don't think that's going to happen either. He's put his flag in the sand, hasn't he? 150 million. I know he takes less, but I just don't see that. He's now up at one.
Culmination of years of evolution for both fighters. To truly appreciate the stage is set, the world is watching, and 2 of the greatest boxers to ever step into the ring, Canelo Álvarez and Terence Crawford, are about to face off in a showdown that will leave fans breathless. The anticipation is at an all-time high, with people all over the world eager to witness history in the making. This fight isn't just about 2 champions clashing. It's about legacy, about rivalry, unintimidating. In his face-off with Gennady Golovkin before their first fight, gear up for this monumental event. Let's take a deeper look at the rivalries that have defined their paths to greatness and examine how their unique physical attributes could determine the outcome of this fight. Canelo Álvarez's journey through the world of boxing has been nothing short of extraordinary. Since his rise to prominence, Canelo has had a career filled with massive rivalries that have tested his heart under his opponent's skin. In contrast, Terence Crawford's approach to face-offs as the iconic Floyd Mayweather Jr. This fight in 2013 was billed as a clash between two of the best pound-for-pound boxers in the world. At the time, Canelo was a rising star in the sport, known for his explosive power and rapid rise through the weight classes. However, Mayweather was a seasoned champion, a defensive genius who had never been defeated, and he made quick work of Canelo in a unanimous decision victory. Strategy is part of what makes Crawford so dangerous. He is a master of adaptation, style, his approach to boxing, and how he would navigate the landscape of the sport going forward. Canelo was determined to learn from this defeat and come back stronger. His comments after the fight were telling. "I learned a lot from Mayweather. It was the hardest fight of my career, but it made me better. I now know what it takes to be a true champion." After the Mayweather loss, Canelo's rivalry with Gennady GGG seemed to relish the moment, maintaining his trademark composure while subtly baiting a feared knockout artist known for his relentless aggression and unyielding pressure, was seen as the perfect foil to Canelo's counterpunching style. Their first fight in 2017 ended in a controversial split draw, with many believing that Golovkin had done enough to win. But Canelo...
I want to talk about, one, is Crawford ready for that fight? Two, how do you see that fight playing out? And three, is this a reality?
I've got to be honest, I'd be very surprised if that fight happens. I think His Excellency has been pushing that fight. It didn't seem like it was something that Canelo was really up for, to be honest. And like, when I've spoken to Canelo before about that fight, I think his kind of feeling is, when I beat Crawford, everyone's going to say I've beaten a 154-pounder. Like, and he also, I think, at his age as well.
The Warrior took the challenge head-on and came back even stronger in their 2018 rematch, where he secured a majority decision battle for the soul of boxing. "Canelo and Crawford are giving us everything. This fight would define me," Canelo said after the rematch. "GGG is a great fighter, but I'm a better one. I proved that tonight." The rivalry between Canelo and Golovkin became one of the most intense and passionate in recent boxing history, with both fighters exchanging jabs, insults, and critiques in the lead-up to their bouts. Fans eagerly awaited each clash, knowing that the stakes were high, and no joke, he's the only one who can match Canelo's greatness. This face-off is one of the best in the world, and set the stage for his future matchups. Now, as Canelo steps into the ring with Terence Crawford, the rivalries that have shaped him are in full view. But Crawford's path to greatness has been just as intense, if not more so. Crawford, who has been dubbed the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world by many boxing analysts, has carved his own legacy through a series of memorable represent. Canelo is the embodiment of relentless hard work and perseverance. He came in 2014, when he faced the undefeated and highly skilled Yuriorkis Gamboa. Gamboa, known for his lightning-fast footwork and elite boxing skills, posed a serious challenge for Crawford. The fight was intense, with Gamboa's speed causing problems for Crawford early on. But Crawford, ever the tactician, adapted mid-fight and came back with a vengeance. James tweeted, "Man, that Canelo-Crawford face-off was intense. Two goats going at it. I can't wait for this fight." Actor and boxing enthusiast Mark Wahlberg posted, "This is the fight of the century. Both guys look ready to give it all they've got. Respect to Canelo and Crawford for giving fans a moment like this." The comparisons to past face-offs extend beyond the fighters themselves. Boxing historians have noted that this encounter is reminiscent of some of the sport's most iconic moments. The tension between Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier, the psychological warfare of Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield. These were moments that transcended the sport, and Canelo versus Crawford is now being spoken of in the same breath. One historian remarked, "This face-off had all the hallmarks of a classic. The intensity, the mutual respect tinged with animosity. It's what makes boxing the greatest sport in the world." As the dust settles from this face-off and the countdown to fight night continues.
I think it's a very intriguing fight. Canelo and me is the same height. I got longer reach than Canelo. I'm faster than Canelo. Canelo is bigger than me. He's stronger than me. So we both giving away something, but we both gaining something at the same time.
What do you make of him saying no comment, or was that more him just not wanting to talk about that after his fight?
Well, I don't know. Canelo have his own agenda that he want to handle and fulfill. And take my hat off to him. He can do whatever he want. So whatever he decide to do is on him. But if he do decide to come the Crawford route, we're gonna be ready.
What did you think of the event at the Sphere, and could this fight potentially happen at Sphere?
Oh man, that event was
The excitement only grows. Fans are already speculating about how this psychological battle will translate into the ring. Will Canelo's calculated aggression overpower Crawford's composed brilliance? Will Crawford's adaptability and technical mastery prove too much for Canelo to handle? These are the questions that make this fight so compelling, and the face-off provided just enough intrigue to keep everyone guessing. In the end, this face-off wasn't just about promoting a fight, it was about setting the stage for a clash that will define an era. Both fighters brought their A game, not just in their words and actions, but in their very presence. This was more than a promotional event. It was a statement of intent, a declaration that neither man is willing to back down. As we look back on this face-off and the strategies each fighter employed, it's clear that both Canelo and Crawford have mastered the art of the psychological game. They've learned from their past encounters, refining their approaches to become even more formidable. For fans, this evolution is a gift, providing a front-row seat to the highest level of competition the sport has to offer. The face-off may be over, but its impact will be felt long after the final bell rings. Whether you're Team Canelo or Team Crawford, one thing is certain: this fight is going to be one for the ages. And as we wait with bated breath for the night these two legends step into the ring, we can only imagine the fireworks that are yet to come. In the world of boxing, every movement, every glance, and every word carries immense weight. With the highly anticipated fight between Canelo Álvarez and Terence Crawford looming closer, the spotlight is shining not just on their public appearances, but on the grueling training camps where legends are forged. The subtle signs from their physical conditioning and demeanor at the face-off gave fans a tantalizing glimpse into the intensity of their preparations. This is no ordinary fight. It's a battle for supremacy, and both fighters are leaving no stone unturned. Add to this the undeniable psychological warfare that unfolded during their interactions, and you have a recipe for one of the most captivating showdowns in modern boxing history. From the moment Canelo Álvarez entered the room at the face-off, it was evident that his training camp has been nothing short of brutal. The sharpness of his physique was unmistakable. His broad shoulders and chiseled frame spoke of countless hours spent in the gym perfecting his craft. Canelo has always been known for his dedication to physical conditioning, but there was something different this time, an edge that hinted at his understanding of the magnitude of this fight. His movements were fluid, almost predatory, as though every step was calculated to send a message: I am ready for war. Observers noted a heightened focus in Canelo's demeanor, a quiet intensity that seemed to amplify with every second he spent under the lights. His skin glowed with the sheen of a fighter who has been pushed to his limits in training, and his arms carried the subtle marks of relentless sparring sessions. When asked about his camp, Canelo responded with his trademark confidence: I've been working harder than ever. Crawford is a great fighter, but I'm in the best shape of my life. You'll see it on fight night. Those words, paired with the visual evidence, left no doubt that Canelo is approaching this fight as the defining moment of his storied career. On the other side of the ring, Terence Crawford's physical conditioning was equally striking, but in a different way. Crawford's frame appeared leaner, emphasizing his agility and speed, tools he has wielded masterfully throughout his undefeated career. His training camp, known for its emphasis on versatility and technical refinement, seems to have honed him to a razor's edge. Fans and analysts alike couldn't help but notice the precision in his posture and the relaxed confidence in his movements. Crawford's quiet smile during the face-off wasn't just a reaction. It was a statement, a sign that he knows exactly what he's bringing to the table. Crawford's comments about his training camp shed light on his approach. Every fight is different, and every camp is tailored for the opponent, he said. I've studied Canelo. I know his strengths, and I know his weaknesses. My team and I have been working on a plan, and I feel ready to execute it." His calm delivery belied the intensity of his preparation, leaving fans to speculate about what Crawford has up his sleeve for this fight. The difference in their physical conditioning offers a glimpse into the contrasting strategies each fighter is likely to employ. Canelo's powerful, muscular build suggests that he will rely on his strength and relentless pressure to wear Crawford down. Crawford's lean, flexible physique, on the other hand, hints at a game plan centered around speed, footwork, and tactical precision. These subtle signs are a testament to the grueling hours spent in training camps designed to prepare each fighter for the specific challenges their opponent presents. But training camps are about more than just physical preparation. They're also where the seeds of psychological warfare are sown. In the lead-up to the face-off, both Canelo and Crawford made strategic moves to assert their dominance and test each other's mental fortitude. Canelo, known for his fiery demeanor, appeared uncharacteristically restrained, using his silence and unwavering gaze as tools to unsettle Crawford. It was a stark contrast to his more vocal interactions in past face-offs, and the shift was deliberate. Canelo's restraint seemed to say, "I don't need words to prove my superiority. I'll let my fists do the talking." Crawford, however, is no stranger to mind games, and he met Canelo's intensity with his own brand of psychological tactics. During the face-off, Crawford maintained eye contact but broke into a sly smile, a move that seemed to catch even Canelo off guard. The smirk, subtle yet powerful, carried an air of self-assurance that said, "I see through you." Fans took to social media to dissect this moment, with many pointing out that Crawford's demeanor is one of his greatest weapons. As one fan put it, Crawford's smile was more intimidating than any trash talk. It's like he's saying, "I already know how this ends." In analyzing their mind games, it's clear that both fighters are masters of psychological warfare, albeit with contrasting approaches. Canelo's silence and physical presence are designed to overwhelm and intimidate, to force his opponent to question their readiness. Crawford's calm, almost playful demeanor, on the other hand, is aimed at disarming his opponent, making them second-guess their strategy and lose focus. These tactics are as much a part of their arsenal as their punches, and they play a crucial role in shaping the outcome of the fight. The significance of these mind games cannot be overstated. In a sport where mental toughness often determines the victor, the ability to get inside an opponent's head can be the difference between winning and losing. Both Canelo and Crawford understand this, and their face-off was a masterclass in psychological strategy. By refusing to engage in traditional trash talk, Canelo forced Crawford to play on his terms, shifting the dynamics of the encounter. Crawford, in turn, used his composure and subtle taunts to show that he isn't intimidated, that he sees Canelo as just another opponent. The reactions to this psychological duel have been as diverse as the fan bases of the two fighters. Canelo's supporters praised his stoic approach, calling it a sign of maturity and confidence. "Canelo doesn't need to talk. His record speaks for itself," one fan wrote. Meanwhile, Crawford's fans lauded his ability to remain unshaken, with one commenting, "Crawford's smile is all you need to know. He's not just ready, he's already won the mental game." No. As we edge closer to fight night, the insights from their training camps and the psychological tactics they've employed add layers of intrigue to an already fascinating matchup. Canelo and Crawford aren't just preparing for a fight, they're preparing for a moment that will define their legacies. The physical conditioning and mind games we've seen so far are just the beginning of a story that promises to culminate in one of the greatest battles boxing has ever witnessed. This fight is more than a clash of styles or records. It's a collision of philosophies, of what it means to be a champion. Both fighters have laid the groundwork in their training camps and through their psychological strategies, and the world is watching to see who will emerge victorious. One thing is certain: when the bell rings, the intensity, preparation, and mental fortitude we've seen so far will converge in a spectacle that fans will remember for generations to come.